Hey guys, welcome back to Pixel Rich Games. In this episode of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, we're gonna take a look at the moves and abilities of the most ignored and underrated waifu in the whole game. All the way from the sands of Gerudo, Patricia, together with her up-and-coming sidekick, undergoing some kind of Back to the Future type of training from Urbosa, Riju. Let's have a look at their information panel to get this started. We have two types of attack in Age of Calamity, Y for regular attacks and X for strong attacks. The arrows we see here indicate the different attacks that we can chain as combos. One thing we need to note for now is their enhanced ability that makes the 7th Y in the combo make Riju wear the Thunder Helm and cast a barrier around them. This is the same barrier that Riju casts in Breath of the Wild to defend herself from lightning while chasing Vanna Boris. Before we look into anything else on this screen, let's first check out all of their tag team attacks. Here's their 7 consecutive regular attacks. That shields their enhanced ability. It's nice to have when just playing around, but not really worth the effort to always keep up. Unlike all of my other guides, I'm gonna skip doing her strong attack for now and come back to it later in the video. That said, here's their 1Y straight to an X combo. This summons 2 Gerudos that do a nice front slash. Next up is their YYX attack chain. This is a pretty cool looking attack as it makes me feel like I'm wakeboarding while fighting. We can also do a glide instead of landing back to the ground by pressing B while airborne. YYYX ends with a nice lightning storm that can be extended by mashing X. This is a decent attack, but not their best in breaking weak point meters. 4Ys to an X has another nice ending to it. This one creates a whirlwind in front of us that's a better option over the last 4 destroying weak point meters. A setback that this attack has is it doesn't affect or cancel whatever a boss is doing while it's getting hit, so we still need to watch out for attacks. This attack 100% hits a Talus weak point meter bell all the time. Like majority of champions in the game, 5Ys to an X and 6Ys to an X share the same combo finisher. This summons 4 Gerudo warriors that are also riding sand seals plowing forward. This attack can expose weak point meters and can also cancel what a boss is doing. Now that we're done with this tag team's attack patterns, let's go back to their information panel to have a look at the rest of their details. Let's talk about their unique action first. So this makes Patricia go on a rampage. What this means is Patricia goes into a dash that's covered in red chakra. So instead of rampage mode, I'll be referring to this as Chakra Mode. This pretty much makes Riju in a kite. This unique action shines the brightest in huge maps as we can cover end to end while killing regular monsters in our way with it. I also like mixing in this move during boss fights cause it feels pretty good. Just take note that there's a bit of a delay before we actually go into the dash. Instead of holding ZR, we can also opt to just give it a tap, which is our first method to insta-dash mode. Next, let's look at these two right here. Don't you find it odd that the designers had to explicitly write down the team's dash attacks? I mean, this usually goes into the part of my videos where I talk about moves that are not written on here. This actually says a lot, as this is where this team shines. So, instead of just a dash in regular attack, we can chain 2 Ys. Then we have the dash in X description, which understates how this really works. Before we proceed, let me just mention one important detail that isn't on here. Patricia actually has 2 types of dashes. The first one's the standard dash, and then she has the Chakra Mode dash. What we want is the Chakra Mode dash, because number 1, it looks cooler, and 2, we can actually force it out just like the ZR tap, not having to run a few seconds just to go in dash mode in the middle of a fight. With these details in mind, let's jump right over to our strong attack. So just pressing X will make Patricia jump out of the ground to attack with Chakra Mode on. But look at what happens when we use our left stick after pressing X. And yeah, this is our second way to insta-dash. This is also my preferred way to start a dash. Now that we're dashing, here's what happens when we key into regular attacks. An important thing to note about this attack is it works differently when locked on a target. There's a bit of a delay to get the jump out. One nice trick to do when doing this YY dashing combo is to tap on ZR right before landing back to keep our dash mode on. A better move in my opinion is to just do consecutive dash-in single regular attacks instead of chaining 2. This works very much like dash-in strong attacks of other champions, meaning we can do this infinitely. Now, the move that was way undersold. Their dash-in strong attack. We can actually mash X to kill things, big and small with just it. This move does magic when destroying weak point meters, just like the clip right here. Now that we've gone through this important mechanic, we can now talk about the other moves that aren't on their information panel. Like all characters, we have the ability to wall jump. There's no button in this game to make a character jump. What we need to do is dash towards a structure by pressing B, then the option to wall jump will pop up, telling us to press B again if we want to jump. Once airborne, whether from a wall jump or an attack that launched us, we have a good number of options of what we can do next. But before that, I just want to say that I didn't know that Patricia could actually fly. Our first option is to simply fly away with Patricia, which I use to either avoid fights when I'm in a hurry or to reposition myself in a boss fight. Next, we can do up to 3 regular attacks. We can also follow up the Ys with the next or simply go straight to it. This strong attack makes this tag team do a super fly splash. We can also use ZR to dive back down. Because we have the ability to shield surf, thanks to Patricia, we actually have a shield, meaning we can perform perfect guards. All we need to do is hold ZR and press Y as a boss is about to hit us. I miss this move so much, as the last time I was able to use this was when I did my one-handed weapon link guide, which is actually the first in the series. Aside from perfect guard, we also have the option to use flurry rush. The timing on both are pretty similar, but instead we press B and then we can mash Y to destroy weak point meters. Now that we're done with the unwritten stuff, we can now proceed to our rune abilities. We can activate a rune by holding R and then pressing X, Y, A or B. R plus X activates stasis that can freeze enemies in front of the heart foundation as they do an electrifying tag team attack. Like most of the other stasis variants we have, we can also dodge cancel out of this to do a combo that we like. R plus Y activates remote bomb, which makes the heart foundation jump on the bomb to detonate it and launch themselves up. I'm pretty sure that this move was greatly influenced by the bomb impact launch glitch in Breath of the Wild. R plus A is for Cryonis. This creates a nice pillar in front and we can press X to launch it. Our last rune is Magnesis that can be activated with R plus B. This is pretty cool because we get to use the Thunder Health at the end of it. Now we've reached the part where I share my build recommendations for these wrestlers. Let's start with our best weapon that's called the Bridle of the Seven. 7 what? I don't know. If you do, please do tell in the comments. The highest base damage that I have so far as of making this video is 70. This weapon's first hidden seal is a dash attack damage plus, which is awesome. The second one is a 10% chance to landing a shockwave. The first seal build that I recommend is to go all out dash attack damage. I know that we lose the additional 5 damage that we get if we match the shockwave seal with another square seal, but I honestly think that it's worth the trade. This is the primary build and works great on any map, even in boss fighting. Basically, this team's all-rounder. The build focuses on buffing all of our Chakra Mode attacks, which actually are our defining moves. For maps with waves and waves of monsters, we can mix in 2 damage per 100 KO seals, as we can easily reach the 50% cap using our ZR. Aside from recommending these two, I just want to mention that attack speed doesn't work for Patricia and Riju. I know that this seal is good almost all the time, but not for these girls. Attack speed can actually ruin their combos. Now it's time to go into my favorite part of the vid. This team has 2 common weak point attack animations. Here's the first. And here's the second. This is my favorite weak point attack in terms of the damage that it can potentially bring to the table. This move's RNG has the potential to deal crazy amounts of damage, and I think this is enough reason to give these champions a shot. It actually reminds me of Cammy's version of the Dragon Punch. They do have other weak point attack animations depending on the enemy they're fighting. Like my other guides, I'm not gonna include those here to avoid spoiling them for you. Next is their special attack. So once we fully charge our stamina bar by killing monsters, we're able to perform a special attack by pressing A. Not only does the special attack deal a ton of damage, not nearly as much as a well-rolled Cammy style weak point attack, but we can also use this to avoid the damage from big attacks that we are about to receive when caught off guard. When a boss is about to hit us, we can simply press A, and once the animation starts, the attack that was about to hit us will be cancelled. Here's an excerpt from a run in Unnatural Disaster where I did my best to demonstrate how I have fun and keep the game fresh with these 2 girls. Click here to watch my full guide to the biggest broccoli that exists. Has to. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified for more Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity content. Stay tuned for my next video. Stay healthy, keep safe, and God bless us all.